Hi, my name's Jess Hoover, and this is just a little bit about me. You can see that I have four children, and they are ranging in age from 8 to 13. So you can imagine I keep pretty busy. One plays football and one plays volleyball right now. Um, you can see my dog Finn. He is my best friend. He follows me everywhere I go. You can also see I have pictures of the Eagles Stadium and the Phillies Stadium. And there's a picture of my husband and we're wearing Phillies shirts. And we are big Philadelphia sports fans. We love to go to Phillies games, and we've gotten down to an Eagles game. And we spend most of our weekends watching college football on Saturdays and professional football on Sundays. And um, we just really like to be watching sports. Um, I work at Lancaster County Christian School. I am a 5th and 6th grade math and science teacher in their university model. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. So I'm working, I have the four kids, the dog, we also have several other pets in the house. And the last picture on here is of a beach in Jamaica. We went there for our 10-year anniversary, but I just love to be at the beach, just sitting there, listening to the water, watching the sun. That's just my happy place when I get to go there. My past online experience, I am quite experienced as an online learner. I went to Eastern University for my bachelor's degree, and I completed a blended program. We were in class one night a week, and everything else was facilitated online. So I used Blackboard, and we did a lot of conference call type things, and that was how we went through the whole program. Before I went to Eastern, I had taken some classes at HAC, and that was a definite mix. I took a few classes on campus. I took a lot of classes online. That's just kind of my preferred learning style. So when I got hired at LCCS, I got hired for their university model program. And many people don't know what that is. So it is a program that my students come to school 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, they are at home working on plans that I designed for them to follow along with their parents. So it is a blended program. While the home days that we call satellite days are not completely online, I have found over the years that online components definitely help them to go through the plans. And so I am constantly looking for new ideas and new ways to better facilitate their days at home. I'm going to talk about some of the things that we had to read and watch. In the article about the challenges of online learning, Archambault lists many different challenges, but the ones I want to focus on are ones that I struggle with today. Spending time rewriting the curriculum while I teach was quoted on page 14. And that is something I struggle to do. I'm currently revamping our math program for grades 5 and 6. And so I'm trying to teach something new and figure out how does that best work at home. And so addressing that challenge would be super helpful to me. The second one is having to continue to learn new technologies to improve the learning experience, which is talked about on page 16 of the article. This is another thing that I am constantly looking for new ways to help my students at home. So, for instance, two things I'm trying this year are utilizing Google Classroom and Khan Academy. But just how do you streamline and balance being able to do what you need to do in the day-to-day, but also finding these new things and having time to figure out how to use them, and then how to train students and parents to use them at home. Those are kind of the challenges I could connect with from the article. Something that I think that the article did talk about, but still missed a component for my experience, is that it addressed student issues and communication. And what do you do when you have student issues, and how do you communicate with your students? But at the elementary level, your online learning is also heavily dependent on your communication with the parents. And so that was one challenge that I struggle with that I didn't see talked about in the article, but kind of builds on the challenges it did mention about student communication. Good teaching is good teaching. To an extent, I definitely agree. If you're a good teacher, you're a good teacher. A teacher needs to be adaptable and flexible and committed and able to differentiate, because we all know that our students come to us with varying levels of abilities. And that's going to happen whether you're online or you're at a brick and mortar school. It's just how it is. We all learn different, and we need to be able to address those needs as they're presented in our classrooms. But I do think it is a bit of an overgeneralization, because you can't depend on everything you did that worked in a brick and mortar school doesn't work online. And that's something that I've really had to overcome. I had done the University Model program in 4th grade for 2 years. Last year, I was teaching in a traditional setting. And now I'm back to doing University Model, and I can't do everything I did in the normal classroom in this type of setting. And so while I feel like I was doing good in both settings, I have to change and adapt and really look at what's working, what's not working, and be willing to be flexible and a little bit resilient also as you make mistakes and you have to bounce back from those. As far as the commercials and the standards, the K-12 commercial, they really emphasize their ability to customize the learning plans for each and every individual, which I think is a great idea. I don't know what that actually looks like played out, but that connects with Standard F, and being aware of the academic needs and the accommodations that might be needed for the students. And so customizing those plans really connected with that standard. It also talked about Standard C, like student-centered activities. They talked about being able to do groups, which I didn't even know you could do on online learning, and just being able to have more collaboration. And so that definitely connects with Standard C, where you're trying to make those connections and increase the collaboration and the student activities to increase student engagement. In the Connections Academy commercial, I felt like it connected with Standard B, where it kind of emphasized the ability to connect with other learners through the clubs and the activities, which I think is a bit of a stereotype that like online students don't get to connect with other kids. And so I think that's a great way for them to reach out. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if the teachers are the ones facilitating those clubs, but I felt like it really would help to connect students if they're in clubs together or other outside extracurricular things. It would help to give them the freedom to participate more and interact with others. So I felt like that connected with Standard B. Now, Carpe Diem definitely flew through their advertisement, but I felt like in Standard A, it talks about allowing collaboration in a variety of ways. And so Carpe Diem, with having the ability to have in-class classes or online classes, kind of gives that variety. And Also in the second little topic heading under Standard A, it says the online teacher is able to build learner capacity for collaboration in face-to-face, blended, and online environments and encourages students to participate as global citizens. And so I felt like focusing on the student and where they would learn best kind of connected into that piece. So that is my overview for Module 1, and I look forward to getting to know all of you and us getting to share our experiences.